happening, everybody? My name is Jonathan, and let's talk about something really interesting, the importance of friendship. We all have had in our life good relationships that have built us up, and we've all had those toxic relationships that have brought us down. And what we're going to talk about just for a couple minutes today is why is it that when a friendship goes bad or a relationship goes bad that it affects our self-esteem so negatively? And what is the value of those good relationships and how they affect our self-esteem positively? And what you can do in order to make sure that regardless of how your relationships go, that you feel good inside no matter what. Okay? So, welcome to... I'm about to start the animation. Welcome to the Jonathan Show. It's the Jonathan Show! Did you like that? I hope you did. Okay, so let's start by talking about why relationships are so important for our self-esteem. Now, there is a theory that is commonly discussed in sociology called the looking glass self. It was pioneered by the researcher George Horton Cooley. According to Lisa McIntyre's The Practical Skeptic, Core Concepts in Sociology, the concept of the looking glass self expresses the tendency for one to understand oneself through the perception which others may hold of them. Essentially, how one views oneself and acts heavily depends on what the individual believes other people think of the individual. Now, what exactly does that mean? That means that, let's say, somebody that you know is let's say ostracizing you from a party, or says, you know what, I don't like you because you are aggressive, or you are bringing me down, or something like that, or like the kinds of things that you might hear in a really bad breakup or something like that. What that's going to do is, according to a lot of theorists, is going to affect the way you see yourself, because a large portion of how we understand who we are as individuals, as human beings, is in relation to the verification that we get from other people. So when you have, let's say, a relationship with somebody that you admire, somebody that's like really great, like your partner or something like that, and they say something to you that is judgmental and critical, or they do something like they cheat on you, or they will ostracize you, or they will lie or something like that, and then they'll blame you or something like that. Something narcissists do really often. Don't date narcissists. They need to save themselves. You can't save them. But what that might cause is a reflection of yourself to, hey, am I really this person? Right? And you're going to start self-criticizing. So even when the event has finished, you might have a lower self-esteem, and that will infect the way that you respond to other friends. So this also means that the way that you interact with different people brings out different sides of you. So it's really important the kind of people that you spend time with. But there's another side to this, and that's also to have compassion, okay? When you judge other people, when you talk about other people behind their back, when you ostracize other people, even if, let's say, some of it's true, they are toxic or whatever the case is, what you are actually doing is you're adding fuel to an already crappy dumpster fire. What you're doing is that you are making sure that the person continues to be ostracized and continues to have people have a negative opinion of them. So in the off chance that person is included in a group activity, or is, does meet up with the people that you have spoken to, their opinion of that person might be changed based on what you have said. They will treat that person kind of badly, and then that person will continue to feel poorly on themselves. And you know what's the worst thing is that you might never actually see the positive qualities of that person, because you are so addicted to how that you want to script them. Now, one of the most important things to keep in mind is that your relationships will always be in a state of flux. And most importantly is that the person that you have judged, or the person that has judged you, is in essence, in many ways, Probably incorrect, because who you were, let's say, a year ago when this happens, or who that person was a year ago when that happened, well, guess what? They're a different person now. They may have certain personality traits that remain stable through their lifetime that will continue these kinds of things for sure. And you're not obliged to spend time with anybody that is going to bring you down. But on the other hand, you might be in a situation where some people have judged you incorrectly, or maybe they judge you correctly, but you have changed and they are going to remain static. They're going to keep their opinion of you static in their brain. Let's talk about, for example, how many times somebody has upset you and you mark that person, you blacklist that person in your head as somebody that can't be around you, right? And even if that person behaves differently, right? Like on a group chat, you might be with your friends on, or you might see the person at a party, they might be really friendly. In the back of your head, right? You're gonna probably think, yeah, it's just an act. This person is really still like this. This person is still that toxic person I knew. This person is still difficult to deal with. This person is still going to bring my life down, because that's the person they are. But everything in life changes, okay? And everything changes at different speeds, right? This is not a call to action for you to spend time with people that you don't like. You really shouldn't. You really shouldn't. But this is an attempt to help you understand the effects of what toxicity can bring to you, and what the effects of your toxicity can bring to other people. It will continue the narrative of them feeling like crap. If you really want them to change, then you have to kind of either let the person go or empower them in some way. Highlight their positive qualities. Now, let's talk about good relationships. Good relationships are doing the exact opposite effect of this. Good relationships are actually helping you to feel like you're valuable. Good relationships from those long-standing friends that will be there for you through thick and thin, that haven't yet betrayed you or anything like that hopefully never will betray you, just goes to show how many times I've been hurt. But these kinds of friends will help you, no matter what kind of difficulties you go through, feel valued, because what they are essentially doing for your self-esteem is they are verifying for you that you have positive qualities. So in those moments where you feel down on yourself, when you remind yourself of your good friends and how they believe in your positive qualities, then you will feel good about yourself. And it has nothing to do with how often you spend time with them even. It has nothing to do with how close you are in some ways. All it really has to do with is knowing that they are in your corner. And when you know people are in your corner, you will have more self-esteem, you'll have more confidence. Now, this is also something to think about. How many people out there are lacking people in their corner? How many people out there are feeling lonely? How many people out there come from hard families and don't have many friends? So this is a call to action to not necessarily have toxic people in your life, but to have compassion and to, let's say, lighten up on the judgment of others. Because you, for sure, because you're a human being, for sure have had moments where people have done nasty things to you, and it's hurt, and it has affected the way you see yourself. Now, I would think it really unfair if somebody judged me on that. So if somebody judged me because of something that happened a year ago or 2 years ago, I would understand it, but I think it really unfair. So how many times are you doing that to other people? And so recognizing, this is how you get over it, recognizing that there is nobody to blame and there is no reason to take things personally. Because whoever that was when something negative happened in the past, oh my God, there's my cat. It doesn't matter anymore, because you are a different person, just like they are a different person. And so a way to improve your self-esteem is on the one hand, not to depend on how other people see you, and recognize that this is an effect, a social effect. And at the same time, recognize that this is an effect that affects you, and to be at peace with that, and do whatever you can to have compassion for others and to have friendliness, even when it's difficult. It doesn't mean you need to put yourself in difficult, toxic situations, but it does mean that you might be happier when you let things go, drop the blame, and learn to see and learn to build connections, even when it's difficult. So that's the end of the show. I want to thank everybody for watching, okay? If you found this content thought-provoking, if you liked it, remember to tap the like button, and subscribe. It's right over there. And me and my fat cat, PETA, will see you later. Mwah. Yeah.